So I am doing very good this afternoon. How's everybody else doing? We are going to sit down. Wait, wait, Prodigal Brock, for the game? Somebody reviewed it, and didn't have a nitpick with it? But anyway, let's pull up some topics that I saw people talking about in the. Let me pull my microphone down. I saw people talking about in the Discord and on the forums and in my streams during my streams. Nitpicks that have come up that weren't there, for a while, and then they became a problem again. So the first one, let's see. You guys, we can segue into any conversation from the stuff that I'm going to be talking about. The biggest thing is the combat mechanics, and the biggest topic of it being kind of janky, and it is, it's not the smoothest thing in the world. Because it's just things, once you play it for a while, you notice, things like Jason being hit in a doorway, When Jason gets hit in a doorway with a bat, okay, you're waiting for him to bust through a door, and he breaks through the door, and you hit him with a bat, and now you're forced to go through a broken window, because he's blocking the door, and you can't get out of the cabin without hurting yourself. Because you can't get by, you need a way to push him out the way somehow, and get through the door. So it's little things like that come up that I'm sure it's gonna be taken care of. Combat stance sliding was fun when it lasted. What? Glitches for doors. See, glitches, we don't want to talk about glitches. We're not going to talk about, because glitches can be fixed. Glitches are things that will be fixed. We were talking about actual mechanics. So, Jason, okay, a lot of players, and you figure this out once you play Jason a few times, and then you play a counselor more when you're playing Jason than when you're playing a counselor. But when you're a Jason and you get hit, maybe you're shot, maybe you're hit with a pan or something, because there's different ways to stun Jason, and there's different, sometimes it's easier to tap out of it, sometimes you don't get to tap out of it at all. The game chooses how long the stun lasts. So that's fine. That's actually really cool. But Jason being immune and invincible while walking around, it's fine with him being stunned and standing there stunned. But when he starts walking again, that's confusing for the counselor, because now they don't know when they can hit him. It's just somebody that bought the game. They don't know what's going on. They're not going to be, too happy when Jason's walking around and they're taking hits at him and nothing is happening. The shit's just bouncing off of him a couple of times. But it's because sometimes Jason walks out of a stun, but on his screen, there is still red and black, which means he's technically still stunned. So he's immune. It's like in a video game. It's like in those classic video games when you get hit by an enemy and you're blinking for 20 seconds, 10 seconds, and you can't get hurt by anything. I guess that's what it's supposed to be representing, that type of thing. But it's not fair to the other counselors, because they don't know that. What if somebody just ran around the corner and Jason's walking around and they run up to him and hit him and nothing happens? So, but I mean, he's actually stunned. And I try to tell people that when we're playing. I'm like, don't shoot him with the shotgun. When he starts walking around, don't shoot him with the shotgun. Wait 5 seconds. Just run from him and then shoot him with the shotgun. Because, you're not going to know how long he's stunned after that. He might not be stunned when he starts walking around. And you could probably definitely shoot him again, but you don't know that. You have to guess, because you don't know what the hell's going on his screen. Yeah, he's actually still recovering, but the counselors don't know that. I'm reading the chat now. I mean, it does look cool in a sense, because Jason's just walking and you shoot him with a shotgun, you see the blood, but he doesn't react. He just keeps walking. I mean, but still, in a way, it's just kind of unfair to the counselor, because they probably worked so hard to get that damn shotgun, or maybe they didn't. Like, I don't know. I saw somebody once with 2 shotguns and somebody else with a flare gun. Jason came out of a stun. Everybody wasted that shit. Nothing happened. That was funny. Yes, we are playing F13 after the cabin chat. I will go offline for like 30 minutes after. Yeah, because he was still invincible. 2 people shot him with a shotgun. It was Tommy Jarvis and one other person. And then somebody shot the flare. That shit just bounced off of him. Jason was like Superman for a moment. And then, okay. And then another thing on top of that is, like, does strength really mean anything to the jocks as opposed to Deborah? You know? Or, you know, the weakest. I think Deborah might be the weakest in strength, because I'm going to tell you guys, like, every time I picked up a baseball bat with Deborah, it does not matter. I will stun his ass with the baseball bat 100% every time. So where does strength come in? Is it just like getting out of Jason's grasp? I think that might be it. But in terms of combat, where is the difference in strength for these characters? Anybody could. Deborah can run up to Jason and take a whack just as much as Bubsy and still have the same equal 100% way of death. Because Jason can just grab either one of them and finish them off, or he can just attack. I mean, Deborah might die over quicker than Bubsy. He can maybe take one more hit. I don't know. But yeah, because I mean, like, if Jason wants you dead, it doesn't matter. Here's the thing that bothers me kind of. It doesn't matter how much strength Deborah has or how much strength Bugsy has. If Jason wants you dead, he's going to kill both of you. It doesn't matter, like, at the same time, because it's going to be somebody spamming the buttons. They don't care what kill they bring up. They don't care about walking you to an environmental. And that's some more topics we're going to bring up. But it doesn't matter how much strength they have, if it is even breaking out of a grasp, because the Jason, if they're going for points and they're not there to play with you, they're gonna fuck you up. There's no purpose of tapping the A button to get out of his grab when he can just kill you like willy-nilly whenever you want. But that's like other things we're about to bring up in a second. And that's what then that's the next topic. Jason is not really forced in this game to use environmental kills. They are not used because most Jasons want to spam the button to make sure nobody breaks their grasp. They're not there to play and watch you and pretend that they're Jason. They're not there to walk around with you. They're not there to walk behind you. They're gonna always have it on run. They're never gonna walk. They're not there to play with the stalk button. They're not there to play with stalk, they're not there to play around and pretend they're Jason. They're there to go Terminator and go after your ass, get their points, and get out. That's their you know. So that is like where the mechanics, I think, need to be switched up to kind of force people to play more as Jason. I don't know how that would be done. Well, we're kind of come over. We're going to come over we have one idea. Brock, I credit for coming up with this. And it kind of leads into the whole shift grabbing thing that a lot of people still have a problem with. They did nerf it. They nerfed it, but people have adjusted to the nerf grab now. People shift ahead of the counselor, then they do the shift grab, and because they slowed the shift grab down, the counselor just ends up running right into it anyway. So it's easy to grab them. Everybody has worked around how to do the shift grab again. And Brock came up with the idea of maybe, okay, if a Jason grabs you out of a shift and the game recognizes that as a shift grab, that you grabbed 1 second out of a shift, Jason is now forced. He cannot use his main kills at all. His main kills are turned off for him because he came out of a shift grab. He grabbed you. Jason is now forced to walk you to an environmental kill, forcing now the gameplay aesthetic of having to tap out of his grab, which would now take Bugsy's, Deborah's, Tiffany's, whatever strength base they have, and now make it worthwhile to the game and not negate it as useless, because now Jason has to walk you to whatever environmental kill that may not even be close by, aka out in the woods where you really have no way of getting away. There's no cabins, aka maybe you're down doing something away from the cabins. So now, and to balance that, as that aloneness, that counselor may not have somebody there to protect them. That counselor may not have, nothing. They might have ran somewhere. There's a long trek between the boat and whatever else is down there, like, in Crystal Lake or Packanack. I think it's Packanack. But, yeah, so now if Jason comes into a shift, if he doesn't walk after you like Jason is supposed to and grab you and weaken you, slash you, whatever the fuck he's trying to do, throw knives, then if they don't play like Jason and they want to use the magician fucking shift grab to get somebody, let him do it. Let him appear next to somebody like Jason would in Jason 8 movie. Maybe some people could say maybe they want to be like that Jason where he just does appear next to you and he grabs you. But now he is forced into walking you somewhere. That gives the counselor at least some chance of maybe escaping his grasp. And then if Jason shift grabs again right after that, again, he's going to have to walk you to the environmental kill to get that kill in. Otherwise, he can play like Jason, not shift grab, chase you down, tire the counselor down like the counselor is supposed to be done in most of the movies. And then if he grabs you and it's not out of sight of a shift grab, now he can go ahead and use his main kills on you or walk you to an environmental kill, whatever. Don't you think that would be like the best kind of balance? I think. That's my opinion. So then, yes, you can still shift grab people. That way people can still shift grab. They can still shift grab. It's not changing the mechanic. It gives no more work to the developers. All they got to do is set up some kind of thing where if Jason does shift grab you out of a 1 second, half of a second, like a 1 second timer, then he's forced to take you to an environmental kill. Like that sounds good to me. I am reading the chat again. And then, let's see, what was the next thing? And I'm not even complaining about it, you guys, because I use a shift grab. I use shift grab all the time. You guys watch my streams. There's times when I play around and I don't use it, because I also like playing Jason as Jason, and I don't shift grab anyone. And I like to walk after people, and I like to play it as like it would be in the movie. So I think doing that whole thing would fix it. Because, I shift grab, and if I do want to shift grab someone, then my punishment now that really it balances well for the counselor and Jason, perfectly. My punishment is I have to walk and walk them to an environmental kill, which may or may not be close by. And then it balances for the counselor because their punishment, first of all, is being away from the cabins. They're off in the woods by themselves alone. Jason can really easily pick them off with a shift grab. And their punishment is they're not jumping between cabins. But that's the thing. A counselor shouldn't be forced like they have to be jumping between cabins to traverse maps. That they don't have the option of walking alone in the woods far away from the cabins if they so choose to. Because Jason is usually always around a cabin. It's very rare that he's going to be out in the woods somewhere. So if they did that, where he did shift grab somebody out in the woods, as opposed to what he should be doing is chasing and running after them fairly and squarely to kill them, just make it so where they have to walk to an environmental. I think that would clean everything up. And that's not to say that the shift grab can't be juked. It can be juked. I've juked it plenty of times. But I still think that there should, and that would balance the terror and create more anxiety if the counselor knew that Jason just shift grabbed them, so they might have a chance if they don't have a pocket knife to to shake out of his grasp before he can walk you to an environmental kill. That will also make Jason have to slash them a bit out in the woods. Because if they're in full health, they're going to pretty much kind of, unless they're really weak character, they're going to be able to jump out of that grasp that he has. Or they're not going to be able to do it. If they're weak, you know, it's going to be bad for them. So yeah, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. It makes Jason have to weaken them to, you know, if he wants to shift grab them into an environmental kill necessary. Weaker Jasons may suffer from that. I don't think they would, because like a weaker Jason, you know, if you're chasing somebody and they're out by themselves and they're not, you know, they're not going to get away because their stamina's going to run out. And you can fucking just go ahead and kill them. And if you're chasing them and you grab them, you can go ahead and kill them with your main kill anyway. So, I mean, like, they're not going nowhere. And the thing is if Jason shift grabs near a cabin, see, it's the thing, there's shit tons of stuff around a cabin to environmental kill on it. If you're in a cabin and Jason shift grabs you, you're probably shit out of luck. You might can tap out of it, but he's got doors to fucking bang your head against. He's gonna hang you up on a hanger. He's gonna put your head in the fireplace. He's gonna be outside the cabin. He can smash you against the cabin wall. So Jason is still powerful. Like, he's still OP, even more so if he catches you around cabins because of all the environmental kills that he has right there. But there's gonna be like maybe less so in the woods. That kind of balances to let Jason chase you and to still be able to kill you. You know, I just think it would be great if they did it that way. Everything would just balance itself out in so many ways if they did it that way. Because there's some people that grab a lot of pocket knives. There's some people that get like 2 or 3 pocket knives around. But then that means that there's like 5 or 4 or 3 other counselors that have absolutely nothing. Because there's so many pocket knives. Yeah, one person might be uber strong. It might seem unfair to Jason that this one person just stabbed him with 2 pocket knives and then the next person stabbed him with 2 pocket knives. But you got to remember, after you kill those 2 people, there is like 5 or 4 other people running around without pocket knives. So like everything would still balance out correctly, I think. But don't you think some people would just wait in the woods until the time limit? Not really. KFC, because if you're waiting out in the woods, Jason's gonna find you eventually, because he's not dumb. If he's not finding you around cabins and you're around and he's in rage, he's gonna see you out in the woods, and that's usually before the 2-minute mark. So he's just gonna chase you down and kill you, like the same as he would any other way. Because just because you're out in the woods does not mean there's no environmental kills. He will just walk up to the nearest tree. If he shift grabs you, because what if he morphs out in the woods knowing that what a shift grab might mean for him? He's just going to go ahead and chase you down normally, and until your stamina runs out, or if you're already injured, it's even worse. Then he's going to normally grab you by walking up to you, and he's going to do one of his main kills. Like, it's still going to be balanced. Like, if you're out in the woods fucking around being dumb, you're still going to get killed. Because if you're wounded especially, there's no way you're tapping out of Jason's grasp. He will walk around with you for as long as he wants until he finds something. Like if you're out in the woods anyway, if you snap out of his grasp and you're injured, he's just going to walk up and grab you again. And then he can just go ahead and get you. Rain Skull, that's a good idea too. Maybe if Jason is in rage, that's a good point. If Jason is in rage, it does not matter at all if he shift grabs you. If he shift grabs you in rage, you're done. He can go ahead and use a main kill. That's a really good point right there, Rain Skull. They could turn that on for him. So if you're down to the last 2 minutes and you're fucking around, like, what do you guys think? Do you think it should still be off? Like, that would be maybe rage mode should his ability still be off if he shift grabs you to keep it, fluid, or turn it on? Like, I would almost for Jason, I would almost want to keep the abilities off in rage Just because I'm pretty convinced if people really wanted to, they could still kill the person. See, because, like, I'll tell you, the Avenger, if anybody plays with him and you're Jason, beware, because he will juke the shit out of you. But I feel like if I could shift grab him, which I did, I told him too, I was like, I'm not going to shift grab you. If I shift, I will shift attack you, but I'm not going to shift grab you. And it took me a long time just to even get like 3 hits in. He was juking me all around the pack and neck. I forget who he was playing. I think it was Tiffany. And now if I could have shift grabbed him, because I wounded him. I wounded him really good, and I knew he probably had 1 or maybe 2 pocket knives, but if I would have been able to shift grab him, I would have eventually been able to grab him and walk him to an environmental kill, because there's plenty of them around the Packanack, and he would have been dead. But instead I chose to just shift attack him, and that was very difficult. So that's why I still think the shift grab should stay in the game. It is a necessity, but that's why I think that if somebody does shift grab somebody, that they should be forced to walk to an environmental kill, because then it would balance out for Jason. He's still able to kind of go ahead and get his kill in without having to try to shift attack, because that's really difficult. For somebody that knows how to juke really well, shift attacking is like, it's pretty difficult. There's a problem. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, Ring Scold, and that's on Jason then. If Jason decides to shift grab somebody and they're near the cops, then they're near the cops. That's Jason's fault for letting them get there. You know, he has to be able to, if they're that close to the cops, then they're gonna get away. If he's able to shift, walk after somebody and just wait 1 second, that's all it is. It's just a 1 second cooldown to prevent a shift grab. If he's able to shift near them, walk, burn off that 1 second, and then just grab them or attack them and then grab them, then he can go ahead and get his main kill in. But if they're that close to the cops, and like, then that's, you know, a shift kill. Even like if maybe he's in rage, I don't know. But yeah, if he's in rage, maybe it could still be on. I don't know. But if they're that close to the cops, then, and if Jason, because Jason can still walk with them. He can walk them back the other way. I don't know for how long, but yeah. I don't think there's that much wrong with somebody being like right next to the cops and being able to escape his grasp as if they would normally anywhere else. Because technically, if he could shift to them and not even grab, he could shift attack them until they die before they get to the cops. Or just shift, if you shift attack and then grab, he could shift attack them, grab them, and then go ahead and main kill them. I'm reading down the comments, so give me a moment. You guys make sure you're watching this on Twitch if you're not, and you're watching this on YouTube. That way you can actually see what the chat room is saying right now. Zig, you want the counselors to be more different. It really feels like the same skeleton wearing a different meat suit. That is basically what's going on, and I'm sure within time, you know, they would have to build whole new, like, they'd have to build a whole new thing for the counselors, and that's money. That's money and time. It may happen in the future. You never know. Any possibility if a counselor can deflect Jason's attacks? Well, you can block. You can block the same way Jason can. But the thing is I am not sure. I've never blocked Jason's attack as a counselor because I don't want to see what happens. So if anybody in here has done that, like, does it still hurt your counselor? Like, what happens? I've actually never done it yet. So, oh yeah, Jason gets knocked out easily, but I do still think that is necessary. Otherwise, here's the thing, you guys. Otherwise, if Jason couldn't be knocked out so easily as he does in the game as a gameplay mechanic, nobody would ever use weapons. That's just the thing of it. If Jason could not be knocked out so easily as he is already, nobody would ever get a machete. Nobody would ever have any reason to get a blunt weapon. There would be no reason for any counselor to even bother attacking Jason because they're not going to take that chance to even protect you. There would be no protection. Let's just say that there would be nobody. Essentially, somebody hitting Jason with an object is AKA pulling somebody off of the hook in Dead by Daylight. If they don't have any kind of high percentage of knocking Jason out like they do, then nobody would do that. Nobody would come and get you off the hook, ever. They would leave you to die every time. So that's just how it has to be, and in that respect, you need to learn how to defend yourself as Jason Voorhees. And not put yourself in that situation. That is the whole thing of it. If you're getting knocked out by counselors, then you need to do something. You need to change something, move yourself, get yourself out of that situation, and put yourself in a better stance, attack. You need to move around as Jason. That's just the thing of it. So yeah, Jason getting knocked out easy, that can't be changed. That has to stay the way it is. I am reading the chat again. Well, KFC, that's the thing. Right now, it's not an easy escape. If Jason has wounded you and he grabs you, it's really hard to tap out of that. Like, it takes a lot of time, especially with Tiffany, I noticed. Like, when she's wounded and Jason grabs you, I start tapping and I'm like, oh, because there's some people that walk around with me plenty of times to environmental kills after they've wounded me. Avenger does it. And, there's no way. There is absolutely no way. It would take forever. Like, her shit goes up so slow. Jason could walk around with me for a solid 30 seconds or more. Because so you don't need to worry about people tapping out easy. Bugsy, if you haven't, now think of it this way, if you haven't hit Bugsy a single time, you put no effort into Bugsy. This also forces Jason to put some effort into the counselor. If he shift grabs him, I'm saying. You know, so now Bugsy is going, if you grab Bugsy, if you shift grab Bugsy and you just came out of nowhere, you ain't hit him nothing, you just appeared, shift grabbed him, Bugsy is going to probably be able to kick out really easy, because now you got to walk to an environmental kill, but you're only going to have maybe 3 seconds to do that. You know, so you better hope to God you shift grab Bugsy next to a bird bath or something. You know, so, and that also forces Jasons to play tactfully. You know, you're chasing someone, you're walking after them, you're running after them, depending on what Jason. You wait for them to get next to what you know is an environmental kill, and then shift grab them. That's a tactic, and that's a perfectly fine tactic. So now Jason is a little bit more Jason, you know. If he's going to shift next to you, he's going to shift while you're standing next to something that he could kill you in the next 2 seconds. So, you know, like, I think it makes a lot of sense. And so if you've hit Bugsy a few times, obviously now it's going to be harder for Bugsy to tap out of it because he's injured and wounded and all that good stuff. Shift grabbing would be a good way to also see if people have pocket knives left over. If there is a certain kind of kill you want to do. I am going down the chat. Hazi, that's gonna That's probably something that's going to be changed on. I'm assuming they're going to fix this and make it. I drive in reverse. You guys see my driving. I drive in reverse just as well as I do driving straight forward. I think they're probably going to change that and make it harder to ride in reverse. I would. Because it's easy for counselors to just fucking wail around on that car. It's fun, though. I'm going to keep taking advantage of that before they change it. I'm sure it's going to be something that they do. They'll make it harder. Sheikah, you should join our games. Nobody is ever mean, usually, in our games. Going down the chat. Holy crap, you guys are chatting a shit ton. I'm trying to read everybody's stuff. Hold on. Does strength affect grab break? I am not sure. I think it does. Like, if Bugsy has high strength, he can probably get out of a grab easier than, say, Tiffany or Deborah. See, that's the thing that I love too, is not everybody uses stalk too much. Like, it's very rare that I use it unless I really want to play around with somebody. But I think by doing all those things, people will figure out how to use stalk really well instead of shift grabbing, because now they're kind of being pushed to play Jason the more like Jason should be played if they know that they can go ahead and do a main kill off of instead of doing that one. I mean, you could still shift around people and shift after them. People are still going to be doing that, but they're going to have to wait that 1 second. They won't be able to shift right out of a grab. They can still shift right next to them and maybe slap them with their machete or whatever weapon they're using, but... And hopefully it doesn't push people to do friggin' shift, attack, and then grab, and then they can still do their main kill. I don't know. But usually if Jason shift attacks me, I have no problem getting away with it, because I know it stops the counselor momentarily, but usually I've never had a problem with somebody shifting and then attacking me and then I was unable to run away and get away from them still. Usually they'll hit me and I'm still going, like... So that shouldn't be a problem. I don't see it. Oh, yeah, that's another thing we were going to bring up, too, Rain Skull. Stalk, using a shift grab with stalk. That's another really annoying thing. Because, like, you'll be standing... I've caught myself, where I look at the chat, like, I'm off, Jason is gone, or it's the first 10 seconds of the game. I'm like, okay, there's no car here. There's no objective here. But maybe the phone was close by, and I didn't know where the phone was, so I walk outside... I look over to the chat, or no, this is later when he has stock. Like, I'll step outside. Look over to the chat, and I'll be like, hey, I'm going to put this... And technically, I shouldn't be doing that. Like, because I shouldn't be even looking over, but... I mean, it happens to folks that just step outside for a moment. You don't even hear him coming. He just appears next to you, bam, you're in a grab, and then you're dead. And it happens so quick. But it's like, that's why I think that if out of a shift grab, there should at least be a chance to tap out of it. You don't hear anything. Like, all of a sudden, he's just there and you're grabbed. Like, you see, by the time the VHS clears up, you're up in his fucking arm. Like... Oh, Hazi, I don't know if they'll do the DBD thing and do perks and stuff for Jason. Because then Jason, unless counselors have some kind of ability, or unless counselors have some kind of thing that they have, like, particular to Vanessa, like this super thing that she can maybe use one time in a match. Thanks for the follow, you guys. That maybe like each counselor has this particular ability. Like, it would have to balance well. Jason shouldn't have any perks. Instead, unless the counselors are being balanced to counter that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you're just making Jason way too overpowered. Way too overpowered. And then there's nothing in it for the counselors. Jay Tabortooth, TwitchCon. I do not know if I'll be going to TwitchCon this year. We'll see though. Yeah, the counselors are all, I mean, the Jason's traps are already camouflaged enough. Max Reaper, thanks for the follow. Yeah, and that's the thing, is you want the game to be about a player's brain rather than abilities and perks. I don't want this game to be like, hey, if I put all these on, then nobody can ever stop me. Or if I turn all these on, like, I want Jason to be using his head. Like, I want the developers to expand the combat mechanic and to expand all this stuff to where people have to really use their head more as both the counselors and Jason. I don't want it to become something that's just a mechanic. You know, something that's, hey, if I shift grab this person, I can kill them easier. Hell, I'll just shift grab everybody. I don't want it to become a mechanic. I want it to become something that feels more organic. Putting people to play with their smarts rather than their fucking, how fast can I do this? You know, like, I want people to play with their head and play with the counselors and like use the fucking brains to actually get these kills rather than, I guess you could call it skill, but it's not really a skill. It's like exploiting a mechanic to make yourself look like a pro. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to for him to hunt you down, and when he catches you, that's because he put in the rightful effort to do these kills, you know. But let's see. Let me go down the list here. And see, that's the thing. Even in as long as it's in the game, people are gonna use it. I use it. I shift grab all the damn time. But I do it because, you know, that's a mechanic that I can implement to catch somebody. But if I am handicapped from that, it's gonna make me play differently. Yes, I will still shift grab people, especially if I want to do an environmental kill, and that gives the counselor a way to jump out of the grab now because he won't be able to use a main kill. And I think it would work out. It makes you play more as like Jason rather than this teleporting wizard that can grab you from nowhere. You know, because like, and it's cool because the less people use shift grab, because maybe it you know, it'll make it more scarier when you're out in the woods by yourself. I think it's a really cool experience for the counselor to have Jason running behind them or walking behind them, and he's after you. There's no cabin nearby. Yes, he could still shift grab you, but now you still have to tap out of it, and then you start running again, and he's still after you. It creates more of a sense of terror animal. It's a longer, more drawn out experience rather than the chop is out in the woods. You're playing the game. Jason appears, bam, he grabs you, you're dead, and off he goes. There was no experience. There was no moment in that. It's almost like, oh, Jason just appeared, I'm dead. There was no, oh, Jason found me in the woods. Oh, I have this moment where I can tap out and it's an experience. Even if it's a short-lived experience, you might get away. Maybe if he hasn't hurt you yet, you have a better chance, depending on if he can find this environmental kill that might be nearby. But it's still a moment. It's still a moment where he's carrying you to the tree, or he's carrying you to the stump and it's freaking you out. Or now he has to chase you through the woods. He's either going to do that or he's going to chase you through the woods. He's going to walk after you through the woods. He's going to run after you through the woods, instead of a total lack of experience of, hey, he showed up, grabbed me, died. So now you guys can kind of see in your head what I'm trying to get them to go for. Yeah, I'll be playing the game, you guys, today. We're just having like a little discussion. I'm going down the list of things that I saw people talk about in the Discord. And just for those of you that are just now showing up, basically to summarize everything, everybody's talking about the shift grab. And, Jason shows up, shift grabs you, you're dead, and then off he goes. Maybe you have a pocket knife, maybe you're not, but you shouldn't have to, there should be a moment, even if you don't have a pocket knife. We were saying that Jason should, if he does, they shouldn't take away the shift grab. Jason should still be able to shift grab you, but if he does shift grab you, he cannot use his main kills. And now he is forced to now walk with you to an environmental kill. If it's close by, because what if he shift grabs you and he just does it instantaneously without thinking about it, and he gets you, okay, well now he's forced to take you to an environmental kill to kill you. He can't use a main kill right away. That then gives the counselor a chance, plus it gives Jason a chance to go ahead and kill without it seeming unfair, unbalanced, and, on both sides, kind of trying to see a mirror image on both sides. Jason's having a moment of having to walk with you somewhere. Now, if Jason shifts, and he shifts beside you and he waits a second, there's like a 1 second cooldown, and then he grabs you, now he can go ahead and use his main kills. It's not like he has to just walk or chase after you. He can still shift next to you, but if he doesn't shift grab and he waits a second, starts walking after you, just to give the counselor, well, that one, if they decide to stand still and Jason stands still for a second and then grabs, because you're going to get used to the how long it takes before you can use your main kills, then he's going to just grab the person. So if somebody's standing there and not moving, that's their fault. They're sitting in a corner and Jason shifts in front of them and they're kind of stuck for a second because they run into Jason, they freak out, they run back into the corner, then Jason grabs them. He's going to use a main kill because technically he did not shift grab you. You freaked out and now you're going to die for it. So I mean, it would be a good balance. That's basically summarizing what we were saying. I think it would be a good balance to eliminate the shift grab. And then obviously we did talk about combat and how it's a little bit clunky, and Jason being immune and walking around. On Jason's screen it's immune, but on the counselor doesn't know that. So we talked about too, and that's pretty much the biggest things that I've seen people talk about is the jankiness of the combat and then the shift grabbing stuff. Let me scroll up and see the chat here. Yeah, and like Wolf Ninja said, if Jason comes out of nowhere and you're injured, like let's say he's been chasing you for a while, or you made a dumb mistake of stepping in one of his traps, you're injured. So if Jason does shift grab you, and you're super injured, you're probably not going to be able to tap out of it that easy, and he's going to go ahead and carry you over to an environmental kill pretty easy, and he's gonna be able to get that kill in. So the healthier the counselor is, the easier it is for that counselor to tap button out of his grab if he shift grabs you. But if he's injured you and he's put the work in, or you're just a dumbass and you hurt yourself, he's going to be able to shift grab you and practically carry you around wherever he wants and go ahead and kill you. Yeah, that's definitely a good thing. Definitely a good idea. Too many traps on objective points. Jason setting traps around the car all the time. Now, the thing is, I'm going to be honest. While Jason does do that, not every Jason does. And when Jasons do that, it's not too hard to get around. I've not really seen too much of a problem with getting around it. So many times Jason has done that and we've gotten away. Because, you know, he only has 4 or 5 traps. So he's got to set a trap on a battery and the door. And then he's got to go to the boat or the car and set traps around there. He's got to set another trap on the door, on the battery. But more often than not, somebody's going to get a pocket knife. They're going to bust these traps open. Jason's not going to know about it. Or they're just going to get everything they need for the car, get back to the car. Somebody's going to take a hit and they're going to fix the car and get out. I don't really see too much of a problem with it. I haven't seen too many people complaining about Jason setting traps down on objectives yet. I mean, I know it's annoying, but there are ways around it. Because you got to think about it this way, you guys. For Jason, the car, once it starts moving, that bitch is hard to catch. If they get a good driver in that car is it. That's it for Jason. He has to be able to set traps down near the car. I mean, because if the car is open, and like people are gonna be fixing those cars left and right. I'm just saying. Because once they're in that car, that is it. Jason is pretty much fucked at that point, unless you just have a shitty driver in the driver's seat. It's not too hard to juke Jason around the camp in the car. That's for me, but I know when I play and people get in the car, I know that's it. If they get a good move on the car, because if you try to morph somewhere, if they're already moving at speed, they could pretty much get around you. It's so hard to especially shift after the car. How about a perk to carry one more item? That would be kind of cool, Cyber. To carry an extra item. But then that would be, I don't know, though. Because then if somebody has a perk on for med sprays and they got 4 med sprays, them bitches got like 8 med sprays. I don't know if that would work so well. I think keeping it 3, you don't want to give people too much. You don't want to give people too much, because then it's not a survival horror game anymore. You don't want the game to become horror Call of Duty. Keep it survival horror. We don't want Friday the 13th to turn into Resident Evil 1 and then Resident Evil 7. So, versus Resident Evil 7. Free Loki would never be able to run over Jason, because as soon as people can run over Jason, they're just going to be trolling him. I mean, the only way you could do that is if you have an expendable car perk, like you're talking about, where you have it on, you can run over Jason one time. One time if that person with the perk has that perk on, and it takes up a whole perk slot, but it's expendable. So they could run over Jason one time, that's it. If they try to go back and forth over Jason, all that shit like that, then they're gonna fuck their car up. It will like, if they touch Jason with the car again, it's gonna fuck the car up. So they can run away from him they can run over him maybe one time, that's it. And it doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter if there's 4 people in the car with the same perk. It can only be done one time. That's the thing. Like, if there's 4 people in the match with the run over Jason perk, it doesn't matter. It would only be once Jason is ran over. That's it. You get 1 the whole match. You can only run over. It doesn't matter how many people have that perk turned on. You'd only be able to run over him 1 time in the match with 1 car. That's the only way that would work properly. They need to fix the hit area on the car. Oh yeah, you guys, they'll be making all kinds of changes to this game as time goes on. They just need to watch, you know, they're watching how everybody plays. They're watching for glitches, bugs, all that stuff, exploits. They're gonna see how they're seeing how everybody plays. Because it was one thing when you watch a group out of your 20 play the game for 2-3 years. You have to see how people play, because people are gonna do all kinds of shit that they didn't think of, because everybody plays different. Everybody plays different. There's gonna be people pushing the limit, like. So there's going to be people exploiting all kinds of parts of the maps to juke Jason, to piss off Jasons, to piss off the counselors. Like, changes will happen for sure. Yeah, people are giving the game crap, you know, overdone. You know, there's a lot of entitled kids out there. They're used to all these AAA. I think of it this way: Gun Media and Ilphonic are receiving AAA game treatment for an indie game. That's an honor right there. They're getting AAA reception, but they're a small team. So that's amazing to me. Like, I look at this like, yeah, it's stressful. They're fucking going through all kinds of shit right now, so show them some love on their Twitter, you guys. Always make sure you guys are showing them love. If you can, send them goodies, do all these good things, because they're receiving a lot of stress. Yes, it's like a cool thing that such a small team is receiving AAA reception, feedback, treatments, and criticisms, but this is a group of 20 people. This is like kids that went out into their garage and into their backyard, made this thing for people, and now they're getting fucking nationwide reception for it. And it's really hard for them to fix all that stuff, like, because they're a group of dudes that did all this in their garage type of thing. That's how I'm trying to tell you guys what's going on. Like, that's basically what's going on. So yeah, show them some love. This thing will get fixed up really nice. Should the boat be nerfed? Absolutely not. The boat is fucking amazing. I've seen people get killed and escape on the boat equally. The boat and the cars are balanced. They're good. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna pop off here because I think we've beat the dead horse on the shift Instagrabbing thing and the combat jankiness. All this stuff will be cleaned up. Did you guys see their patch notes? Let me go back again for those of you that did not hear about their patch notes. This patch is live now. So when we play the game, you guys are already going to hear about the decisions and the stuff that they are already fixing. Let me go and pull this up really quick. Oh, these are just all the small fixes. They don't, hold on. Okay, they didn't list but the ones that they list, like the improvements, is now the counselors, when they see a dead body that was killed in front of them, they will not freak out about it. So your counselor won't be running up to Jason killing somebody and going, oh, is that a dead body? Or they're not gonna, like, if somebody dies near you or around you and like it just happened, there's no more that they're not gonna freak out. And also, if you've never seen a dead body but Jason's chasing you, they're not gonna stop and be like, and they freak out. While Jason's like right there, moments from killing you behind you. They're not gonna do that weird dodge thing they do and be like, oh my god, holy shit, is that a dead body? While Jason's fucking chasing them, because that was so dumb. They've already fixed that. Look at that guy, you guys. They're already all over this stuff. All this stuff that bothers us, they are all over it, 100%. So, right, yeah, dude like freaks out 3 times over one dead body. The screen upstairs in the Higgins house is broken? What do you mean it's broken? Oh, Nick says he wants LaChapa's Stretch Armstrong arms back. For the new folks popping in here, thanks for popping in. This is our cabin chats. We like to come in here and critique the game and talk about the game and discuss things, and then we post it on YouTube and see what everybody thinks. We get the comments and the feedback and what everybody thinks about certain things. Certain things that I see folks complaining about during our matches, you know, on Discord, and it's brought up so many times and times again. So we do that. We just stop and have a little cabin chat to kind of assess and take it all in and come up with ideas. How can it be fixed, you know? Oh, they also fixed it, you guys. They also fixed to where when you hide in a locker or whatever you can hide in the game, they fixed it to where when you're hiding, your character doesn't do that really loud exhale. Because Jason hears that and then he comes right over there. So now when you're hiding, they will be quiet. You'll do your exhale, you'll hold in. I don't know. I think that they should make the counselors hold their breath for longer. Because I really don't think the time is there. They should have no problem with making the counselors hold their breath for a respectable amount of time. Because Jason, you got to think about the balance here. Jason, if he decides to go and listen for somebody, he's wasting his time. This person that's hiding is actually helping all the other counselors around the Packanack or wherever, Higgins or wherever the hell you decide to hide. And I think it should always be a thing to where if somebody is in a hiding place, Jason cannot sense their fear unless he's enraged. Unless he's enraged, I really don't think Jason should be sensing that they're there. I think it should go away or mitigate it by at least 80% that he will sense them. That way it gives counselors an initiative to take the initiative to go ahead and hide somewhere. Right now, I see nobody ever using hiding spots because there's no reason, because Jason can see right through it. I think that Jason's sense, once somebody is in a hiding spot, should be really turned down, like toned down. He's going to have a really hard time, unless he's enraged, figuring out that they're in a hiding spot. So, I mean, like, because right now, Jason, you get into a hiding spot, Jason really has no trouble finding you. If he sticks around, because he's going to stick around. He's going to go into a cabin. He knows you just went in there. There's no reason for him to think that you actually hopped out of a cabin or out the window and went running off somewhere unless he absolutely walks it. Because what I see most Jasons doing is they'll walk into a cabin and they'll wait. Or they'll walk around. They'll just keep walking around until they hear something. Until they hear you go, But if you can hold your breath for a decent amount of time, like a minute, Jason's not gonna waste his time in that cabin as much as he has to before he's gonna go start looking for other people or leaving to go see where you went. Like, so there should be, like, I want people to be going in hiding spots and actually getting away with it. Otherwise, Jason's gonna have to walk around and tear every goddamn. That's scary. I'm gonna tell you guys, that's scary. Walking around here and Jason tear up everything in the cabin. That's scary. I think that should happen a lot more often. Instead of Jason just doing this number. Killed you, dead, leaving. No, he should fucking, like, unless he saw you absolutely, he knows that you went under that bed. Like, he just saw you go into that room. Okay, that's obvious. But if Jason is like, he's coming in from outside, like the cabin, you just ran in here, he doesn't really know where you went. And he's just like, okay. And he walks right to the hiding space that you're at and kills you. I'm like, dude, really? There's rare instances where I see him walk by the bed, or he walks by the closet and then he leaves. It's very rare, but I think that the counselors should have a little bit more time to hold their breath. And maybe they fixed that. I don't know. Maybe this patch fixed it. I don't know. I still got to play today. So if maybe they did, maybe they fixed it. I'm talking too much and being an idiot. But we will try. We're gonna go in today and try some hiding spots. I want to see if I can get away from Jason using. We're gonna start using hiding spots, and we're gonna give that a try. But yeah. The patch came out today. It's patch point 102. It was rolled back yesterday because there was a problem with it, but it'll be out today. And we're gonna try. I'm gonna try hiding. I want to just go ahead and go in, and I'm gonna play around with hiding spots today and see if that works. And that's the thing, Great White Terry. Maybe some counselors, Jenny, with high composure, she has a better time hiding. She can get into a hiding spot and then she can hold her breath way longer than maybe somebody else. Somebody else with higher composure, they get into a closet, they can't hold their breath as long. That way it kind of still has every count. That even makes it more so every counselor is different. You don't want to be hiding with Vanessa. You don't want to be hiding with other higher composure, low composure, low stealth type characters. And that just kind of expands the characters a little bit more, I think. Big J Voorhees, you hid right at the beginning of a match. He still found me 2 minutes. And that's the thing too. Like, I think it should be punished. If somebody's if somebody decides to get into a hiding spot at the beginning of a match, there should be some invisible mechanic to where if they're just sitting there the whole time, slowly, maybe if Jason, okay, think of it this way. If somebody's in a hide, if they just start off and they jump into a closet and they're just sitting there the whole match, I think it should be done underneath the engine. Thank you guys for the follows. Underneath the engine, to where if Jason has used his sense at least 4 or 5, each time he uses his sense while you're in a hiding spot. Each time he's playing, the whole time he's playing this match, the more he uses his sense for that person that's been in the hiding spot. Say you've been hiding for 2 minutes. If Jason's using his sense the 3rd time, the 4th time, the 5th time, around that 3rd or 4th time he uses his sense, if he's closer, depending on how close he is, farther or, from the hiding spot or wherever you're at, he's going to be able to pick up that hiding spot, and you're not able to just hide there the entire match. You know what I'm saying? Because some people do that shit. So it's like, okay, well, Jason's balance to that is the more he starts using his sensibility for that one person one time, okay, he's walked around and he's hunting people. Like, this is counting for that one person. You gotta think about it. In the meantime, he's hunting other people using his sense. For now, okay, now 2 times he's used his sense. The 3rd time he's used his sense. The 4th time he used his sense. What's this off in the distance? This house is lit up. I'm gonna go in this house. Somebody's in here. Okay, I want to look around this house because somebody's obviously fucking chilling in here. And every time he leaves the house, he's gonna see that cabin light up again. Somebody's fucking around in here. So the more Jason uses his sense, and you think you can hide somewhere the entire match, absolutely not. Jason's gonna find you eventually and come kill your ass. So that way it prevents hide camping, I guess you could call it. Oh, or yeah, or that, boo, or you just get kicked out of the game for idling. But here's the thing, though. What if they're just moving their camera around? You know, what if they're just moving their camera around and, like, they're not really idling? They're pausing and unpausing the game. Or they just, you know, they're doing something. I don't know if it's just for the character movement or what, but... But yeah, these are all good little points, I think, that we brung up in here, you guys. I will be posting this for those that like to watch on YouTube. I'll post it up there as well. It will be archived on this Twitch for those of you that missed it to go back. And you guys go on to YouTube, leave comments. I want to see what you guys think about what I said, and I'll be reading. I'm going to go back and watch this and read what you guys have been saying, because I'm sure I missed a shit ton of comments. But yeah, AJ is very difficult to... AJ is a bitch to find with Jason, let me tell you, even with normal sense. AJ, I will see her. I will have even wounded her. And then she'll get away, and I'll use sense, and I'm like, damn, girl, I cannot even... I still can't find your ass. Where the hell did you go? But that's a cool thing. See, that's cool for the counselor, because it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I just got away. It creates these experiences. And that's the way I think that the gameplay should be adjusted, not to make players happy, but like they don't know it, but it's creating more of these experiences, like with the whole shift grabbing thing and the sense, hiding, adjusting all this stuff for the better, creates these moments of, oh my god, I just got away. I don't know how I did it. For the counselor, you know. And AJ has a lot of those moments, because Charmin tells me every time, you know, when we're playing, that he's like, dude, you were right there in the house, like, I don't know what you were doing, but you came in, and because AJ already has this thing kind of going with her sense. He's like, I don't know what happened, but you just came in, and then you just left, and I kept going, and you never found me. So, like, AJ's one of those hard fucking counselors to find. You should be able to bust out of the hiding spots on them. I don't think that'll be a thing. I mean, see, that's the thing, is you're punished as a counselor. If you decide to get into a hiding spot and you're hearing Jason walk around in the house, that is the stress. There should not be any stress relief. There should not be any, hey, I'm gonna bust out and hurt Jason when he gets in front of the... No, absolutely not. That is your decision. Are you gonna just stand in the hiding spot and listen to him tear up everything in the cabin until he eventually finds you? Or are you going to get out of the hiding spot after the first 2 beds he misses and get your ass out of there before he decides to pick your hiding spot? So that stress should always be there for the counselor, I believe, and there should not be any kind of convenience to relieve that stress at all. Like, if he's in the cabin with you, you need to choose the right time, the right moment, using your headphones or whatever audio system you got going on to realize, hey, he is in the downstairs pantry. Oh, hey, he's upstairs doing this. I'm downstairs. I can get out of my hiding spot. I have a moment to get out of here. Or he's upstairs. He's in the next room over from me doing this. I need to get out of my hiding spot. Hurry up and get downstairs and get out the front door. Like, that stress should not be relieved at all by anything. Unless maybe it becomes a perk ability, I don't know. Is there a capacity to how many perks you can have? I have no idea. If there is, I have not reached it yet. But yeah. And, okay, so we're going to try to end this right here. We keep coming up with all kinds of new stuff to talk about, I know. But you guys, we're going to stop right here. Let's go down here and check out Savini to finish this off. Savini Jason. And Give me about 30 to 40 minutes and we will be on playing the game some more. Let me know what you guys think while we're playing it. I will see you guys later.
It's like this. We live in claustrophobia. A land of steel and concrete. Trapped by dark waters. There is no escape. Nor do we want it. We've come to thrive on it. And each other. You can't get the adrenaline pumping without the terror, good people. I love this town.